Every hour on the hour, when we listen and gain our knowledge and power, we turn to the no bullshit hour.
No bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit.
Oh my, let's just did breaking news. Dub or bullshit. Dub or bullshit.
No bullshit.
Get off the phone, Red.
I'm sharing.
Hi, caring.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Narcoleptic, wake up. Welcome to the greatest news hour in the world. 3 mulattoes and a narcoleptic. Yes.
And a mannequin.
Power to the people. Hello, mannequin.
Good to see you too, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, Bitcoin mannequin. He's so rich he doesn't even have to talk. All right, look, right off the rip. What a week it was, man. Woo. Hey, Red, get the fuck off the phone.
I'm sharing.
Okay, I'm sharing, man.
All right, I'm off the phone.
Don't beg for ratings, because thank you, America, for making the No Bullshit News Hour a top 200 podcast in the United States of America.
Thank you.
For the last month. How about that? Out of this dump, this basement.
Great work,
Lower
man.
level.
The lower level. With the pubic hairs up on the toilet. Drew does not wash his whiskers down the sink. I cannot work in these conditions. Karen's lying about being afraid of COVID. It's the pubic hair.
Well, actually, I shouldn't. Never mind. I was going to tell you something I witnessed over
Do
there,
it.
but I'm not.
Do it.
No, you can't tease the audience. Go on.
Said it already. Do it.
No, it's okay. That's Drew's private business. I'm gonna leave it alone. Never mind.
Just bring the music down for a minute. No, shut it off. Show killer. Bring it back up. I'm not going to say. But you know why Karen's not going to say? Because that's why the whole world trusts her. That's why she's getting the calls last week, right? Getting it from the inside of Chief James Craig's circle. It's on. He is. It's verified.
Karen is the best friend everybody needs. You can tell her your secrets and she won't tell anybody else.
Bring the music down. Show killer. Fuck. She deals in secrets. What are you talking about? Come on, she's a Politico.
Yeah, but trust is everything, Charlie. People trust me because I will never violate their trust. I don't violate yours. I don't violate Drew's. I don't violate anybody's.
Well, you can violate mine anytime, baby. That's part of the magic. Okay, so anyway, right? We're on the phone. And what happens? Last week, breaking news, exclusive, No Bullshit News Hour. James Craig will be resigning. Most likely, he going to be running for governor.
Yep, nailed it.
So we do our work early, folks. We do it in an hour. We're not going to waste your time. We do a happy hour on Friday. We're not chasing some bullshit podcast. Top 200 in America.
I am chasing that happy hour price,
Yeah.
Joe.
Always Ubering. Good thing you're an Uber driver, Red. When we're half in the bag, you can drive because you're an Uber driver. It's a joke. It's a joke, people. So we're sitting there, man. All of a sudden, the phone's ringing, and it's all over the place, right?
Yeah.
But how is it all over the place? Remember, Red?
I remember.
What'd you remember?
I remember at about 1:20, 1:30 last Friday, we dropped it right here on NBN.
Yeah, but what happened when we're at the fucking bar?
This dude here is off the chain. He cussed out so many. It was like watching Charlie on steroids calling the news stations and outlets.
I called the newspapers. I called the TV stations because they're punching it out like sources confirm. Breaking news, sources confirm for us that the No Bullshit News Hour is correct, except they're not mentioning it.
That's right. We were the sources.
And I told him, hey, how about a little something? We're trying to feed our babies too, and we're trying to prove a point.
Well, it worked because the 10 o'clock news first story, Huel gave you credit. Second story, you got credit for another story they did. So the first two stories Fox 2 had. 10
You don't
o'clock.
know how much cussing out he did to get them credits, but I do. I was there.
The point is you're doing their work.
Yes.
It's upon us, right? If we can do it, everybody in the world knows, and even the media, because I know them. Why is it so bad? Why aren't you working? Why are you sucking up? Why can't you give somebody some credit? Why, Karen?
I think there are a lot of reasons why, Charlie. I think one, there's a different, how can I say it? Landscape now, too many people want to be friends and they want to be in the in crowd and in the camera shot and invited to the parties rather than to hold the people that they would otherwise cover accountable. I also recognize that print and broadcast media do not have the resources that they had before. You've got one person.
Do they have less resources than us?
Impossible. At least they have internet networks.
I remind you, 3 mulattoes and a narcoleptic and a Bitcoin billionaire. Huh?
I do my finest work on a cell phone.
You're afraid. You're afraid, and we got to do the work because we're not afraid. And the shit's got to be locked down because they're dying to just shit on us.
Yep.
But for those of you, look, the news directors and the publishers, editorialists, those that understood the point of view, thank you. Mm-hmm. No, thank you. It was mighty big of you to do it. It was, right? I respect the work you all do. There's a lot of good work. Not enough of it is the complaint. But I'm not going to name any names for those that were fighting it, Red. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a travesty that we look at the news to get the news, and in a lot of cases, we're not getting the news. It's just we getting clips.
And so here it all is, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say, remember when I told you when Elizabeth Hertel, the Director of Health and Human Services, went down to Margaritaville during the pandemic, during spring break?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, remember that because we're going to revisit Gretchen Whitmer's comments. What was it, yesterday or the day before?
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah.
I didn't write a word about it because we're on to something bigger. Y'all chase.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be announcing that as well. A lot of breaking news today. Just what you came for. Your 1 hour, no shit. So where was I?
Margaritaville scandal continues.
Okay, so, Margaritaville, they leaked that crap to MERS, right? This news service up in Lansing. Then I find out Whitmer went to Florida and they leak it to MERS.
Wow, MERS is on fire.
Yeah, that's okay, right? And then this time I get the game. You're not getting a whole day to answer me. We do the airplane. The billionaires.
Right.
Okay. So here's what MERS writes this. MERS is down with the governor. Listen to this. I believe this was Thursday. Governor Gretchen Whitmer conceded today her Friday to Monday check-in on her ailing father in March was nothing any other adult child would not do for their elderly parent and did not conflict with her job in running the state of Michigan. Now that sounds really good. Now listen to this. Let me paraphrase it. Governor Whitmer conceded that she did something everybody would do, and she conceded that she was doing her job. That's not a concession. No. Nobody's accusing her.
That's really interesting.
Of not doing her job.
Yeah. I thought it was a private trip anyway. Who wrote that?
Nobody's saying anything's wrong with taking care of your parents, but this is a thing, and I'm going to say this like we said before. She cited security concerns prior, but a month after the trip, it's no longer a concern, and it's okay to come up and tell the residents of this state what happened and under what circumstances. That still has that. When you don't tell the truth the first time, you have to consistently dig yourself deeper in order to cover it up.
Wait, let me do this. Yes, let me do this again. Basically, this says Governor Whitmer conceded that she's a good daughter and a hard worker.
That wasn't the argument.
I concede. You are right.
I concede. I'm a hero.
You're right.
Kind of sound like she patted herself on the back some more. Doesn't sound like to me.
What is that? Okay, then this comes a little later in the report. In related news, go ahead, breaking news.
All right.
MERS is breaking news. In related news, Mers is in possession of a May 8th letter from the doctor of Richard Whitmer, the father of the governor, that lists out several chronic conditions the retired Blue Cross Blue Shield executive is balancing. The physician wrote that the elder Whitmer started complaining of pronounced fatigue and shortness of breath in February.
Okay.
After working with his physicians in Michigan, the upshot was the elder Whitmer needed to return early from his Florida residence to be reevaluated, which he did. Okay, let's unpack that a second.
Wow.
Shortness of breath and fatigue.
That's me right now.
I'm good luck, sir. Look, I'm not. Look, save the letters, man. You know, I know what y'all doing, you haters, you bullshitters. You led us to believe the dude was dying. He had shortness of breath and fatigue. And he came up here just a couple weeks after she went down there. There was no need to go down there in a pandemic, unvaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like he got tired on the golf course to me.
Now, number two, you got a letter from his doctor. You got a letter from his doctor. If the doctor gave you the letter, well, they're going to strip him of his license. There's only one logical place his letter came from. Where would that be, folks?
The governor's office.
Oh.
Clearly.
Who?
Clearly.
Who?
It's funny because it made me think of another. We talked about the Trump analogies when people get mad at Trump for doing one thing. You should get mad at Whitmer for doing another thing. Remember before he ran for president, they had that doctor's note get put out. That was all. He's the greatest physical shape ever. And people kind of scoffed at that letter because he had them write it. So it's the same. This is a little worse than that, but yeah, just another comparison.
Well, when you eat McDonald's every day for the whole entire life after a movie said, supersize me, we know that's bullshit. You cannot be in healthy, top shape condition.
So basically, it's like having your doctor write a note for your kid in school. That's what they did. They had his doctor write a note to say, look, he really was ill.
To give it to these dudes. And
yes.
I'm going to just.
Why is Mers doing that?
I'm sorry. I called him up.
Disclose something like that. I mean, if you ask someone to if you ask your doctor to write a letter, it is for a specific purpose. Getting your daughter out of trouble should not be one of those purposes.
Well, I challenge Mers.
Good.
If the governor's office gave it to you, publish it. What's it say? Because this is the okey doke. Who wouldn't do it? Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Go see the father.
That's not what it's about.
I wouldn't do it if I was the governor. I wouldn't do it. You told everybody else not to do it. And then your two top chicks went down to Margaritaville posing at the pool.
Yeah, that's interesting too, that he came up here, right? When he was ill to get treated up here, which is fine. Why didn't he just stay with her up here?
Golf tournament.
I mean,
why didn't you say, hey, Dad,
serious.
look, I'm in a tough position.
Yeah.
Why don't you come up early?
Yeah.
And go see the doctor.
Stay with us.
Because I told people to do a lot of stuff and they're really not happy.
Yeah.
I mean, this may be petty, but ain't this the same woman whose husband took his yacht out while everybody else had to stay in the house? I mean, we asking her line of thinking. She proved at the beginning what it was.
Hey, Red, again, this is no bullshit news hour, so I don't want you to be like the local news outlets.
Right. I'm just saying.
No, I see what you did there. You overinflated it, bro. It's a yacht.
Okay.
It's a yacht. Okay. It's a boat. It's a fucking boat.
Okay, it's a boat.
This is shortness of breath. This isn't fucking cancer. Or maybe it is.
No, it's not. Walk up the stairs, Mark, and come back down and say something. Let's do a test.
Why me?
Here.
Jeez.
That's
You have shortness of breath, but I'm afraid he'll fall asleep on the stairs, and then we got a problem. So listen, before we get to the press conference, which Karen is a seasoned communication specialist, way better than what Whitmer's got, right? We're going to listen to this press conference, which I didn't write a thing about because something else is coming.
Mm-hmm.
You was there, though.
I was there?
Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong press conference.
There'll be some more bullshit. I don't know what to do with this dude. We're going to have to send him to Specs Howard for a semester.
I'll be the only one there.
Fucking, you gotta get
I'll
his
be
makeup.
amongst the many unemployed
Help
Specs
you
Howard
fix that
students.
face, man. They're going to teach you put spackling on. Do your hair right. But before we do that, let me just remind you that Esquire says that our great friends at American Coney Island are one of the 100 restaurants in this great country that we cannot afford to lose. Please visit it. And I'm going to apologize. I don't know if this is political. Excuse me, Grace Carrows. the third generation owner of the restaurant that invented the Coney dog. I'm sorry if this is going to get you in trouble. Visit it, patronize it, because Dan Gilbert, that pirate, is setting up his own food court.
Where?
In Campus Marshes.
Really?
Right in the middle. Like this fucker owns everything. Right? Never mind it's 104 years old. Never mind they got to pay awning tax, sidewalk tax, fire tax, all kinds of shit.
Awning tax?
Awning tax.
Never heard of that one.
Awning tax. This is Detroit. So you're there, you're trying to hold on, you're a landmark, and this guy sucks hundreds of millions out of us, pretends he's going to give us hundreds of millions back.
Yeah.
No skyscraper to be seen. I wrote that in Deadline Detroit.
Good article,
Checked
yeah.
it. Thank you. It was. We're not going to mention it today in depth, but right?
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you.
You know, he just bought the River Place properties.
I
too.
knew he was going to. And you know what else he did? I'm going to $2.2 million to help poor black people learn how to balance a checkbook. I knew he was going to make the move. I knew he was going to do it. That's why they didn't return no calls. I knew you were going to do it. So listen, dude. What about the soul of Detroit? I know downtown is a tax dodge. It's an opportunity zone. You wrote that law. Trump signed it. Congress voted for it. I know. So anything you put in down there, you dodge capital gains tax. Right? How about some room for the real people of the place? Please visit American Coney Island for the real Detroit experience.
Yeah, I don't care what he puts in that food court. It won't come near those conies.
Man, and then these food trucks not from the city.
Yeah.
They're
And
not.
God bless you for the food truck. I know I'm not
I get
fighting
it.
you. I
Yeah.
want you to eat too. But you got to remember your sister and her cousins next door at Lafayette and everybody else that has brick and mortar.
Yeah, no awning tax on a food truck.
Fuck.
No. And it hurts the vendors, the street vendors that actually live here. It because they're citizens of the city that pay the licensing fees and all of that to have their hot dog carts or whatever else down there. So they
Move along, Red.
yeah. Hey, I'm so sick of this already.
Well, Red's not. He's still not getting the journalism. You must disclose he used to sell hot dogs.
Well, okay,
I didn't know that.
I used to own me and my wife used to own a hot dog
Right.
cart
Just look at
downtown
that.
location. So we were there the year that
All
the
right,
food
Red.
trucks
Okay.
came in.
All right, Red. And you
Any
used to
sense,
sell your
man.
ass up at 6 in Woodward.
No, you got the location wrong. It was Woodward and fucking Miller
Marlene,
Drive Street.
do you know you just opened up for really poor, not you, but there was a comment that if it would be in really bad taste. So I'm not going to say it, but it would be funny.
There she goes again.
Stop teasing everybody, Karen.
Hold on. Bring it down.
You said 6 Mile in Woodward.
Show killer.
Never mind.
Karen's got all these great ideas in her head.
I can already imagine where she going with that because there's only a couple of things on 6 Mile and Woodward. Red's not one of them.
Okay.
No, Red isn't, but somebody was once, and it brought up a lot of.
Oh, Butch
Never mind.
Hollowell?
Let's go. Let's move. Go ahead.
Butch Hollowell, Duggan's old corporation
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
counsel, the guy that was head of the Democratic Party in Michigan. That dude.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's what it was in reference to. Karen, are you going to tease us?
You guys are smart.
Charlie.
Go ahead and Google that one, folks.
I'm saying because people have very short memories around here.
Yes.
And in
I
order
mean-
to really understand things, you got to put it in context. You got to know what happened. You do. So very good, Charlie. You get a star. Thanks.
He insisted he was eating out the prostitute. Or that's at least what the police report said.
I'd rather go to American Coney Island.
Oh my goodness. I'll leave you to figure out the rest.
Anyway, moving on.
Regarding short memories, you mentioned Hertel and Foster. I feel like that's just gone to the moon with Whitmer.
Well, we'll get to that. But, look, here's the thing about the city here and downtown and all that. It's pretty simple. ADR consultants are the one you call when you need to get something done right on time and on budget.
And to find out what an awning tax is.
Exactly, man. And how come I got to pay an awning tax to get the park out here and I'm struggling?
Yeah.
And people are tired of the government working against them. Everybody, all political stripes. The problem is everybody wants to tribe up and not use their freaking head. That's why you're here. We're not afraid to say it.
And use Barry's head.
Are you an investor and can't get straight answers about whether your assets are properly registered or repaired? Call ADR to help with asset management. Do you have issues with zoning and certification issues? Wait, what kind of copy is this? Do you have issues with issues?
That's all it is when you deal with Detroit.
Hey, somebody give me a pen. Have ADI work out a plan to stop the tickets and fines when they get your properties fixed. Are you trying to get something remodeled and need permits, variances, or help navigating the jungle of City Hall? Save time and money. Call ADR. Construction, deconstruction, demolition, rehabilitation, project management, technology deployments. Get it done the way it should be done without excuses. Ethical, honest, smart, and discreet. Call Barry Allen Tuck for free consultation, 248-318-9424. Let me do it slower, 248-318-9424. Mention the No Bullshit News Hour and tell him that you need your shit fixed.
Mm.
All right.
Beautiful.
Is that all right?
I got a compliment on my Fix the Shit shirt today.
Did you?
Yeah, walking in here.
I still don't have one.
What?
No.
Do you want the real one, the Fix the Shit, or you want the Fix the...
I want the real one. Are there any long sleeve t-shirts
Oh, my God.
in black?
I think they're all sold out. Go to the drewandmikestore.com and see if they're all sold out. And then somebody do that right now. And please put it up on Facebook and let us know.
Yeah, do that work.
By the way, they're like $25 a pop and plus shipping. And everything that we make on it, we're giving back to kids. We're giving back to people that don't have heat.
Yep.
We're trying to do something good with it.
You have.
I'm not trying to get some bar money. You know what I mean?
Right.
I nickel and diamond and chiseling. I'm just not about it. Things are too hard. Okay, well, let me see here what I got. Okay. All right. Okay, here's the Whitmer press conference from Wednesday. It's a Zoom. You guys got to remember, it's a Zoom.
Yep.
So they can look at the questions and they can cut you off when they want to for follow-ups. So do I need to set up any more?
No.
I think it's going to take care of itself.
This is the final question she faced.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, Governor Whitmer. Thank you for taking my question. Today, the Michigan GOP is holding a press conference to talk once again about your trip to Florida. Now, I know you said that you...
Otis wanted the trick, Karen, but from a reporter who doesn't want to suffer the wrath. The GOP's doing it.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, we move on.
I don't want to talk about that anymore out of concern for your own safety. But could you just expand on why you're not able to talk about a trip that was taken about a month and a half ago? And can you talk about claims that you used a private plane funded by Detroit businessmen to take that trip?
So I appreciate the question, Rachel. I'm going to make a couple of important points.
Pause. For those of you who can't see, put her picture back up. She's looking down at the prepared statement. Yep. We've been working on this all weekend. I'm glad you asked that. Huh. I wasn't expecting that.
To that point, do you think, I don't even know who this reporter is.
Yeah, good reporter.
Yeah.
Got the question in.
Okay.
The one everybody wants to ask.
So she was waiting for it and saving it for last, though, because it's Zoom and she could see.
I'm sure everybody was winding him up, right? Yeah. The reporter put it in a respectful way.
Yeah.
You know, I know what it is to sit there and stare at power. So I've used notice this, folks. Here's some media training that you already know because you're sophisticated. We all do that, right? Mr. President, critics are saying.
Yeah, some people say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's really a hard job. Yeah. Whitmer's in the middle of some shit, right?
It's a very polite way to ask, and she's ready for it.
It was classy.
Saved it for last.
I don't know who the reporter is.
Rachel.
I'm sure I read Rachel's stuff, but it was way to go, Rachel.
But is Rachel even a real reporter? Or
is
Rachel? Well, I'm asking
Conspiracy.
because, and I'm not saying this, but there are plants, if you will, in some press conferences. It could be a student. It could be, I didn't hear what publication or entity she indicated she was from. So.
Okay, we go like this, though, because No Bullshit News. Let's reframe that.
Yeah.
I would never, Rachel, we're not saying that. Of course, you're a real reporter, probably.
Most likely. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
But what Karen's telling you, working more than a decade in politics, is it's common practice to put a plant in there.
It happens.
Or to plant a question. That's a good thing to know. But
it is.
We're not saying that about Rachel at all.
No. This isn't about her. This is just about the process. So let's take her out of the equation.
Right on.
It could be anybody that is not necessarily, a reporter from a platform that we're accustomed to. It could be a student. It could be anybody. And questions are usually, especially under these critical circumstances, they are pre-submitted and approved before they're asked.
Well, in the environment that Whitmer has created over this whole Florida trip invites those kind of questions too. So
she's fucking up, man.
Yes, big time.
This just keeps dripping out. You just tell the fucking truth, but roll it, please.
When I ran for governor, I talked about all the different hats that I wear.
It sounds like you're running for office. Now, let me give you Marco Rubio. I know what hard work is.
Yeah, right.
My father was a bartender. My mother cleaned hotel rooms. Me, I never had a fucking job in my life. I got a sugar daddy auto salesman that's paying for every fucking thing I do. But believe me when I say I watch somebody work hard. Go ahead. On with the prepared Betty Crocker statement.
So many people wear, just like me, mostly women, frankly.
Ooh!
The hat of taking care of my mom at the end of her life.
Pause.
Rearing my daughter.
I can't let that go as a man. Oh, you're pandering to the base.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We all love our parents. Yep. Some women, my sister used to steal my mom's stuff. You know what I mean? Support a habit. The boys love mom.
Yeah.
I take care of my kid. Come on, bring it together.
This is the painting of a victim, right?
Ooh, good. Ooh, see, you're very smart for a narcoleptic.
I just woke up, so I'm refreshed.
He went like this. What'd you say? What'd you say? It was
something about being painting as a victim. You should
he went like this. The painting of a victim.
I was dreaming.
That fueled her popularity. Remember, we talked about that before when Trump was in office,
sure.
And he would call her that woman. Everybody sided with her because they were against him. So it's like, we don't want her to be picked on. We're going to support you. So that fueled a lot of support for her. So the whole victim thing has worked.
That's why I was like, man, Trump, stay the fuck out of Michigan.
Mm.
We got our own stuff to do, right? The minute you pipe in with your emptiness.
She does invite it, though, or did
let's remember something. All of this is in the backdrop. COVID, right? The collapse of all of this shit is in the middle of an election, and history's never going to tell us. It was a lot of this shit was the response, the back and forth, the call out, the tweets, the Department of Justice investigation, the counter. We're calling for an investigation on the president. It was politics, and we're living real lives. And so what, folks?
Amen.
This is how I feel. This is how we feel, and we're the people in the middle. We count too.
And somebody said the other day, they were like, you guys pick on Governor Whitmer.
Shit.
And I can't wait. And I said, this is about performance. This isn't about personality. This is nothing personal. This is not about like or dislike. It is a very objective and organic review and assessment of how this gubernatorial administration is functioning or not.
Bam.
That's it.
It's called journalism. Get used to it. I know it's been gone for a while. So here we are. Please, Mark.
My mom at the end of her life, rearing my daughter at the beginning of hers, also serving as a state representative and having to fight to make sure that my mom had what she needed at the end of her life. This is a part of my story. And so for anyone to be surprised.
Can I say one other thing?
Please.
For those of you who can't see, there's Whitmer all masked up, double mask, looks like. Is that no, it's just a mask. She's vaccinated, right?
It's a message. Mm-hmm.
And the sign language interpreter.
Unmasked.
Oh, she's going crazy. She's fast, too.
She's good.
Looks like she knows what she's doing. I don't get it. I know why the interpreter wouldn't have one on, because she's also mouthing the words.
Uh-huh.
What's the governor doing?
It's a message.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, but
okay.
yeah.
I know.
Had a family member who's been having a lot of health issues.
Pause.
That
family member who's been having a lot of health issues. Shortness of breath, fatigue. You were telling us chronically ill. It gets interpreted by TV as critically ill. We've also set up an excuse. Not happening.
Didn't they use the chronically ill line?
He did,
Yeah.
but then it got interpreted
as
critically ill.
Yeah.
And you all know that. That's what you're thinking.
Once
He
again,
went from gout to deathbed.
once again, now that we know that he was up here back in February, is that
No,
what,
he got he was talking to doctors in February, making plans to come.
Oh,
back.
okay.
Right.
But he could have come up here.
He did come up here. He is up here. That's confirmed.
I mean, instead of
From
her
our
going,
story.
instead of her going down there.
You could have waited 2 weeks. You know what you could have done? When your elderly person needs help and you can't be there, why don't you try a home for the aged? Why don't you try some nursing homes?
Ooh, Charlie, that's a low blow.
Oh, fuck. Well, look,
Definitely not up here. She knows that.
how much pain's washing over me from people
Right.
who are dying to touch their dying loved one. I know what the governor's doing. I'll give her some credit. I gotta lay this down because there's just a lot of people ain't gonna do right by their fellow man. But then you blew it by not listening to yourself, and it's angered people. But that's not the big issue here. The big issue is coming.
Issues that I showed up to check in. I don't think they're
Check
obviously
in.
not
Oh.
paying attention to who I am and what
Pause.
I do.
Check in.
Check in where?
I thought it was tending to.
It keeps moving, man. Follow
Okay.
the bouncing ball.
Yep, go on.
Let's hear how else she was a hero.
It's been a centerpiece of the work that I've done as governor to take care and protect the people of Michigan. Now, I
I'll
took
give
a
her
brief
that.
trip from a Friday to a Monday. 2 full days I was there. It was
Count that as 2 full days.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's 4 days.
I know it's nitpicking, but it's really piling on all these just weird claims. That is 4 days.
Watch it shifting. It is. She left at 7 in the morning on Friday, landed at 9 a.m. It's full day.
It's a full day.
You left at 5 p.m. on Monday and landed back in Lansing at 7 p.m. It's a full day.
Yeah.
I'll give you the reasoning. I go to work on Monday. I get there at 9. I leave at 5. Do I get paid for a day?
A full day.
That's a full day.
You should.
Let's go back for a second. You guys are going to forget. This is what's going on in this era. When the statement first came out, when I popped her, it was 2 full days or less. Now it's 3.5 days
Or less.
Just stop it.
You know how long you were gone. Why
She's
won't you-
auctioning the days until she gets to one somebody will accept.
And don't worry.
Somebody's trying to frame the truth in a manner that they think will be more palatable to, the media and to the public. And what's happening is that it's becoming more and more convoluted, which is just making bad matters worse.
Saying that's Karen, the media sophisticate. Hey, kids up there, you belligerent kids, the one saying my shit was inaccurate and you still can't say it was inaccurate because it's all accurate. You're over your head.
One lie begets another too, right?
That's true.
And don't
That's
worry,
true.
guys, stick with us because I've got some major breaking news.
And one other thing, Charlie.
Karen, you stepped on my line.
I'm sorry.
Maybe she wants to
She's
tease.
like, oh, it was major breaking news. And one other thing. Go ahead, please.
She wants to tease something she won't talk about.
Yeah. Tell us what you won't talk about.
No. The thing about it is that there is not a textbook for political communications. And you get a lot of people that come out and say, oh, I've got a degree in journalism. I've got a degree in this. You have to have on the ground experience to know how to navigate politics if you're going to be a communications representative for a political person. It's not in a textbook.
Well said. Boom. Write that down,
vacation,
people.
and it was not a
Wait, pause.
gift.
I'll tell you when to roll.
Okay.
Roll it.
Back it up just a little bit. I don't want to miss out on all the great things she's done.
And protect the people of
According to
Michigan.
her.
Now, I took a brief trip from a Friday to a Monday. 2 full days I was there. It was not a vacation, and it was not a gift. This was a quick trip that I took, and I think it's important for people to know, like a lot of children of parents who have health issues or relatives who have health issues.
Stop. Saying the trip is not a gift doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean Whitmer paid for it personally or her dad or that it was paid by corporate interests. You'll notice what they're saying now is she was down there. Okay. She was always working. She was in tune. Remember, folks, what the Eager Beaver young communications people told you. She was there to see her chronically ill father. It's a personal trip. You start to see the creep of the verbiage they're putting out. I was working. So now there's something called a 527. It's like a PAC. It's a slush fund. The 501c3, your campaign finance stuff. Are we now going to, out of thin air, come up with a work-related reason you're down there so you can now write the money off? Because it's $40,000 when I'm checking corporate sites, but a friend of Drew's has a basically a Starbucks coffee card for private flights.
Okay.
Right? He belongs to a group.
Like a wheels up type thing.
Like a wheels up.
Mm-hmm.
He called me up. He said, look, man, a one-way trip on a Gulfstream, right? For him.
Yeah.
And he puts $100,000 down as a deposit. It's $37,000 one way. So what we really got here is, okay, you got big corporate interests. You're shaking them down for an airplane. This thing could cost $40,000, $80,000. Who knows? And you're saying it wasn't a gift. You must show us the check.
Let me ask you this. So if it's a business trip, then the 527 can pay for it. Personal trip, she has to pay for it.
That's the hustle.
Gotcha.
Okay. So
that's interesting how it's morphing.
So like I'm telling you, and then the taxpayer didn't pay.
Yeah. Right.
State troopers went.
Yeah. That's the next thing that's very curious. When's that coming out? Because she's never addressed that aspect.
State troopers told me.
Yeah, no, I know that. But
that's why I'm not even following this. I already know what happened. And has the check been cashed? Show me the instrument that shows the check's been cashed. Because the big hustle in politics is I do give you the check and it's a wink, wink. Mm-hmm. Don't cash it. This is what we don't like about politics. Forget the dad. Yeah. I wish him well. Yeah. I also believe the governor was in the backdrop of an election cycle actually trying to do something so, we don't get sick, clog up the hospital, more people die. I believe that. Yeah. But this is the stuff nobody likes. You don't get a pass. Those billionaires, their airplanes parked at City Airport. There's a plan going through to expand City Airport, repave it, lengthen the runway. They have an interest before the governor. That's federal and state money. They don't even like her. But they're not going to piss her off. This is what's going on.
Who else uses City Airport?
Not many people. That's the thing.
Just these powerful, connected.
Hey, but you know what? Why wouldn't you have an airport in your city when you already have one? You want it to crumble to the ground, or you want to do what's right and fix it, or do we want to build a skyscraper instead?
I just take them fixing a pothole.
I know. You know what? And I don't know whose responsibility East Jefferson is, but it is horrible.
Is it not?
It's absolutely horrible. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, that was great. And did you see somebody walking a baby across?
Yes.
What happened?
Are you going to talk about it or just tease it?
Yeah, what happened?
No, you want to talk about it?
Real quick.
And I actually took a picture, but I didn't post it yet. But she's walking down the middle of a street in my neighborhood. Now, it's a two-way street. There's parking on both sides, and the sidewalks in the entire neighborhood have been redone. She's pushing a baby buggy down the middle of the street, and I'm thinking, why in the hell is this woman not on the sidewalk? So I can't go around her because there's parking and there's oncoming traffic. I had to follow her for more than a half a block until I got to my destination. I'm like, this is not a suburb. Get on the sidewalk.
Oh, so she was white?
Yes, she was.
A white person walking in the middle of the street with the baby.
What the hell?
What the hell? Now let's take the mulatto out. All right, you be whole black and I'll be whole white. Okay, what black person going? What the hell is this white person doing in the middle of the road? And how many times I heard white people say that about? What are you doing sleeping in the middle of Gratiot? Maybe we're all the same.
Maybe she's narcoleptic.
Black people don't walk down the middle of the street, nor do they cross against the light because somebody will hit them. White people do it because nobody's going to hit them.
You know what somebody told me, a black person told me about like why black people don't go to the corner and wait and cross it and they walk?
Why?
Because you're a fucking target in Detroit standing still waiting for a light.
Oh my God.
Think about that. That's a fact.
It really is. Sad to say, but true.
So, can we all come together? See, we all get similar things. Maybe the lady with the baby just didn't want to get jacked.
She won't get jacked over here. We have police cars driving up and down the street all day. Everybody's waving and ha he, and she was fine. It was in the middle of the day.
Oh, look at Karen all of a sudden saying there's more than enough police presence. Get your story straight.
In my neighborhood, we do. I told you, before the chief leaves, I do have a request. I want to make sure that the community officer, they have a sign over here. He doesn't speak. I don't like that. I wave and he just looks at me like I'm crazy.
That's because you're waving with one finger like everybody else in this country.
True. Maybe he thinks I don't live over here. That's probably what it is, because he just looks at me.
That's because you're black.
Yes.
That's Karen's complaint. Here go mine. Can I just get one whether he wave or not? He ain't even got to look at me. Just park the car here and there.
One time I was doing this story, right? There was so few police that they park a squad car there. So in case the bad guys, hey, the police are around. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Good deterrent, yeah.
Until the blizzard came, and 5 days later, the thing's still piled on the snow. I'm like, let me do you a favor. I'll come wipe it off. Pay a homeless guy $5, wipe off the squad car. Oh, my God. Okay, roll it.
All right, yeah.
I showed up when I was needed. I did a lot of cooking.
Forgot we were doing this.
A lot of cooking, a lot of cleaning.
I also did my day job, meaning I was on regular calls and conferences with my team. I didn't miss any of that work as well. When you're the governor of Michigan, you're always on the clock, but it doesn't mean that you're not also a daughter who shows up when a family member needs her.
God bless you.
And this flight was not a gift. This flight was not paid for at taxpayer
Present
expense.
The check.
And it was,
you have a
I don't know that
duty.
there's anything more to add. When a family member of mine needs a little help, though, I'm going to...
I'm reading people getting to me going, hey, she paid for it, man. So what's your problem? Show me you pay for it. Yeah. Because it is the public's right to know now. Now, it's not about your dad. Again, I don't know what's wrong with him. Give me the letter. We'll see. But you're now trading. You're horse trading. This is serious. I don't even know if it's legal. I didn't say it was illegal.
The minute she came back from that trip, Charlie, she should have disclosed publicly without any provocation. My dad was ill. I took a trip to Florida, paid for a private jet for security concerns. And here is a copy of the check. No taxpayers were, incriminate or involved or didn't have to pay for this in any capacity. And now I'm back in Michigan.
But don't
period. And nobody would have said anything.
Going back to what I don't believe that. I think there's a reason she didn't do it. Going back to what Mark was saying, is less than 3 weeks later, you told us not to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. You didn't say, hey, listen, avoid Florida, man. Those animals got a bunch of UK variant, unless your dad needs you. You didn't say that. Right. And then
Hertel and Foster. We'll never know if they knew that she went down there and that made them feel okay to travel. And therein lies the real problem, is the leadership issue.
That's it. It's a leadership.
Leadership and money. That's really what
it's naked top. It's a leadership issue. Journalistically, right? Public forum. What kind of deals are you doing with, by the way, these billionaires are big Republican supporters.
Right.
Well, like you said last week, and I found that fascinating, is they said, when the governor calls, you don't say no. You can't. Especially if you want that airport fixed or you need something else.
And don't forget, the governor's people have a list and they called them.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, I heard your old man. I got the letter MERS got, and I heard your old man is, sick, and let me offer up my jet.
Let me know what I can do to help.
Yeah.
Another little point. She said she's down there cooking and cleaning. Wouldn't he have somebody? I mean, he's a fairly well-to-do man.
His daughter loves him. I get it. Okay. No, listen. A lot of us didn't listen to this, right? Yeah. That's why everything she was doing was so draconian.
Yeah.
Because if I really do that, at least half the people will listen.
Fair enough.
And then I feel like it came off like a parent. Do as I say, not as I do.
There you go.
And then once you catch me doing whatever I wanted to do against what I said, I'm the parent. Don't question me.
And hello, opportunistic Republicans. At least they finally issued a subpoena for some nursing home stuff. They finally got off.
Slow down.
The way to go, guys. Listen to Red. What'd you just say? What's good for what is it good?
Yeah, it's like being a parent.
No, just what's the phrase you said?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Much better language, right, Karen, for like the political phraseology you're going to throw out than what's good for thee is me or whatever that was. What?
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Do as I say, not as I do.
That's
and
the
when
one.
you catch me doing what I told you not to do, I'm still a parent. Don't question me.
And
Well,
get the
I always
goddamn
say
homework
attitude-
done.
I always say attitude and performance are a reflection of leadership or a lack thereof. So if your people are doing something, it's a reflection of how you are leading or not leading. So
Okay,
that's
let's go. That's right.
all right.
That's
Just
that's
like
the
when
point.
we have a
Karen just did. We could throw the rest of this away. Karen just made the point. Let's finish it.
There's only 6 seconds.
Oh, great.
we're going to work 24/7 to keep the people of this state safe.
That's it.
Wait.
No more. We're done.
Yeah, because you said so. That's how it ended.
Go back a little bit. This is the last point here of the modern journalism versus, covering politics. Go ahead.
Member of mine needs a little help, though, I'm going to show up. Just like when we have a crisis here, we're going to work 24/7 to keep the people of this state safe. No more. We're done.
You, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, hey, Mr. President, hey, Mr. President, hey, what are you racist? What is shit out there? That's how it's supposed to go.
But it's Zoom, so
They-
someone
they
just
can't
hits.
win
So watch. Here's the 2-bit, but pretty good. But let me hip you all into it. No further questions. You fucking muted everybody.
There were 3 questions asked, Charlie, and a lot of people on Facebook are reminding us of that. There were only 3, and Rachel was one. I assure you that who asked questions, they knew they were going to be asked questions. They were able to ask a question, and they had to submit what they were going to ask.
And my friends watching here and listening, damn right. 3 questions. We all got questions. We just did a 20-minute bit here. No. This sucks.
Yeah.
COVID also fucked journalism up. Big time. Big time. So my suggestion is work harder, journalists. Stop giving people favor. And don't be afraid of the people who's going to shit on you now. Just try to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
You're right.
Thank you for your expert analysis, Karen Dumas.
I remember a time when I thought they would be scared of the journalists because they
Once
knew
upon
the
a time, they
journalist
were.
was the one that would put it all out there.
Once upon a time, Red, they were, because there were people, there was a Bill Bonds, there was a Gary Baumgarten. I mean, there were people that were investigative reporters that challenged the status quo. They asked the questions, they demanded the answers, they did the homework, and they all morphed into Charlie LeDuff, and he was kind of standing on his own. But I mean, once upon a time they were, because they knew they were accountable to somebody, and that's not so much so these days.
Remember, I worked at the New York Times. They taught me a lot. And Fox. Why do you think I walked? No, I'm doing this. This needs to be done. It seems weird what we're doing. Technicolor, new, out there. You mean to hold power to account and to account for the people that don't have power?
Well, that's what the Fourth Estate used to be, and now it's.
You love that word, the Fourth Estate.
Well, there were, what do you? We had the commoners, the political party, the religious leaders in the Fourth Estate,
and the Fifth Dimension. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
The point being, as I feel like
Aquarius women, Aquarius.
I feel like it's being folded into the political arm, though.
Hey, fuck it. Okay, so we're here. Listen,
Yep.
Don't overreact. It'll be all right. Don't overreact.
Should I have a plan?
Overreaction's not a strategy.
People are suggesting Red go to City Airport and actually see what it's like and what it's being used for, that maybe over the next week or so he can do.
Oh.
So get Red arrested.
All of a sudden, everybody out there's the news director. All right. You take calls from Red at midnight.
TCS don't play, or TSA or whatever the hell they call it.
Oh, but by the way, that's coming up. We sent Red. We sent him out there. Red conducted the latest Harris poll. But before we do that, let me remind you again. Overreaction's not a strategy for the long-term investor. Neither is burying your head in the sand and hoping it all turns out for the best. Call my pal Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth.
An investment incorporated. There's only one company I call.
That's Luke Nowak at 248-663-4748. Rational financial advice. Inflation, interest rates, what's your move? Stocks, bonds? Do you move your 401k? Think about this. Your college savings plan? Is your company in the right investments? Is your pension fund meeting its projected return? Get advice. Get a strategy. Call Luke Nowak at Pinnacle Well, 248-663-4748. Red, read this right here. Read that as fast as you can without stopping.
Securities Investment Advisory Service Officers.
Faster.
Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated.
Faster.
Members in Farina, whatever. Royal Alliance Associates is assembly owned entities and or marketing names, products, or services with reference here are independent of Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated.
Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated.
Hey, Luke will stand up to protect your assets.
Breaking news! Breaking news! Major breaking news. Get your pencils out. Nursing home deaths in Michigan. Keep it on! All right, we'll fix that in post. Do it again. Breaking news. Nursing home deaths in Michigan have been wildly and purposely undercounted. Keep that on. Wildly and purposefully undercounted.
Purposefully?
I will present my findings on a special broadcast, hopefully this week. All right, now we stop. We are now in the end of negotiations with the Attorney General of Michigan to turn over the data we requested by the Freedom of Information Act, denied to us by the Whitmer administration. We've come to an agreement. Expect it to be signed and turned over next week. Now, let me say, and no thank you, anybody in the media in this state, because nobody joined us. Nobody joined us. We care. Nobody joined us. Thank you, people at the Michigan Policy Center, the lawyers, pro bono, for transparency and openness. Okay.
Mackinac Center too, yeah.
What'd I say?
Michigan. I knew what you meant.
Why did you just say, hey, man, you said Michigan instead of Mackinac?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think you just did.
I think you just woke up. Okay, listen, this is important.
Mackinac.
Quiet, man, this is important. Listen, currently I await on the Attorney General to either hand over the data I have requested or not. Out of courtesy for the judicial process and the Mackinac Center, who is representing me, and in the interest of pursuing improved transparency laws in this state, I shall wait. But it's funny that the media did not join. In any event, here's what I please. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube at the Americans with Charlie LeDuff page, or go to iTunes or Google and download this podcast, and be sure to turn on the notification button so you'll know when we're live and exclusive, because we will not wait for a Friday. It's major news. And I'm going to tell you something. I believe, without seeing this data, that they knowingly withheld deaths in the long-term care facilities. It was a conscious decision.
Wow.
And I know, and you all will know, and I'm not sure if it's criminal or it's just criminally wrong. I don't know, but I promise you, if the Attorney General turns over the data that says my preliminary stuff was wrong, that's cool. There will be no correction. I will tell you the truth, but I'm giving you real time. My own digging shows me it's wildly undercounted. And we'll see. If the Attorney General's data that they give me that the state would not shows otherwise, I will tell you that, and I will explain it, because it's all about clarity. But I cannot see that being true. And that's it. Any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. My bad. Go ahead.
You're up first. Go ahead.
Well, can we assume that these vital records that we're continuously seeing now for almost 7-8 months?
Ask a question.
The vital record deaths. I'm saying the vital record numbers that we keep seeing the death. Can we assume that that's where a lot of these vital record deaths are coming from?
That's a circular question. Vital records deaths. Can we assume that's where the vital record deaths are coming from?
I got 2.
Did you hear you? Say. Wait, no. Let me help this guy. Say it clear. This is
okay. Clear.
This is it.
Is that where all the vital record deaths is coming from? They're adding them in, the wildly miscounted deaths in the nursing homes.
I can't. First of all, you don't assume anything. You don't. So you're saying in the vital records deaths, the data that I asked for, is that where perhaps the scandal resides?
Yes, that they keep adding this.
No, they keep adding them.
Right.
They keep adding them, but what does that thing mean? What is inside there, right? How many of these people belong to a nursing home? That's only part of it.
Okay.
And this thing's bigger than New York, I believe. Mark?
Wow.
What was the original date they were supposed to have it to you by?
It was early in May.
Early May.
So I want to thank the Attorney General for dealing honestly. Let me finish. Honestly, forthrightly, and expeditiously.
Okay.
That the assistant AGs assigned to this are absolute professionals. Absolute professionals.
That's good.
I think it's worth saying.
Yeah.
We don't dump on everybody.
That's fair.
Okay, but go ahead.
When you say wildly undercounted, can you give us an inkling as to maybe by how much?
I'm not. I look,
Is that for later?
more than New York.
More than New York.
More than Cuomo in New York.
Wow.
That's what I suspect. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. But it ain't wrong.
That's the point. You're trying to find out. You're trying to find out. And when you originally asked, they had a deadline. They didn't meet it, so it had to come to a lawsuit.
Look, I know it's unaccounted. That's a fact.
Oh, well, yeah.
We'll present it. But your airplane, you better answer those because something else is coming. Big one. Karen, anything?
Yep. I want to also do 2 things, Charlie. First, I want to thank the listeners. I mean, we get a lot of feedback from email and on Twitter. I invite you to follow. All of us are on Twitter. I want to thank everybody for their support of this program, the information that they send. And like I said, encourage you to follow us on Twitter. Charlie posts, the Deadline Detroit articles and drops a lot of gems, and I sometimes retweet them. So follow us, and Mark is on there too. He's been unblocked, so he's there. So follow us on Twitter as well.
And just let me add to that also. On Facebook, you can follow the NBN News Hour page. Follow and like it, and you'll get notifications when we go live there as well.
And comedian Detroit Red does a really good bit from his car. He does his rants. Sometimes they go wild. Sometimes they don't. But they're always thought-provoking. They're funny as fuck.
They
and
are.
that's at comedian Detroit Red on Facebook.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
So, yes. Now, the Department of Health and Human Services has been subpoenaed by the Senate Oversight Committee in Michigan for nursing home communications. So again, that's due in about 10 days. So I know you don't know what you're looking for, guys. I know. And when I drop it, you're welcome. And this isn't political. Let's go back to your dad. We have dads and brothers and people we couldn't touch. And we shut down the entire economy. I did it, folks. Not a denialist. I stayed home. I didn't stay home. What am I fucking lying about? But I wore the mask and I washed often, more often than I do. Okay? But I have respect for my fellow man. I understand what we were trying to accomplish, and it was this. Keep the hospitals unpacked.
Yeah.
Right?
Flatten the curve.
I don't care about cases. I care about deaths. My niece worked at Sinai Grace where the corpses were stacking up. That's how that story got out. Not from CNN. They don't care. They've been back? No. That's the paramedics I know, the nurses I know, the working people. They were all nursing home people. They were all old. We know where they were coming from. And we didn't surround them and put all the money that we could into it, hired people on an emergency basis and paid them $30 an hour, which would have cost a whole lot less than $5 trillion fake dollars.
Yes.
That's what this is about.
CNN will be back. Maybe the media will jump on it because they're all coming to the state next week.
Yeah. You mean because Biden's going to
Yeah.
do some puppet theater?
Sure.
Really care?
But they're here. Well, they'll be here. They should care.
All right, where's my shit? Where's my timeline?
Here, take this one.
I'm so pissed. This didn't have to be.
Breathe, Charlie. Breathe.
Okay.
I'm going to take a nap.
Let me do this real quick. Thanks to our sponsor, Hall Financial, for being a great supporter of all the shows on the Red Shovel Network, of which we're part. Mortgage rates, listen, folks, are currently around 3. We were telling you 5 weeks ago they were in the 2s. They're not in the 2s anymore. And I don't think they're going to stay in the 3s. So call today and find out how much a refi can save you every month. Sink in for a second. Just click the link on the website to get started, davidhallmortgage.com. Now's the time. I know we sound like know-it-alls, but we are. Told you so. Come on now.
Somebody just said that.
What?
Know-it-alls?
No, when I said go on Twitter and Nelson said, Twitter, there's too many know-it-alls. Everybody thinks that. And I said, that's everywhere though. And then you come in and say, we know-it-all.
Yeah, there's too many, but there's the one and only. Listen, davidhallmortgage.com. I know that you get the bet. Where's that beat? The fuck kind of DJ? He fell asleep.
Huh?
I know, being a know-it-all, that this is the best place to go.
Being a know-it-all.
DavidHallMortgage.com. Call 248-308-5000. That's 248-308-5000. And make sure you tell them we sent you here from the No Bullshit News Hour. I got breaking news. Exclusive. Detroit Police Chief James Craig is definitely running against embattled incumbent Gretchen Whitmer for the office of governor of the great state of Michigan. He is definitely running as the counterweight to Gretchen Whitmer. This is confirmed by a man so close to the chief that they wear the same underpants at the very same time. I can't divulge that source, but he's wearing the Chiefs underpants right now.
It's 2:08.
What's that mean?
I'm looking at the time. So when they try to come out later on
He's
with
running.
the bullshit.
He's running. Now, since he's running, there's a new poll from the No BS Newshour official pollster, Ed Sarpolis, who also moonlights as the president and CEO of Target Insight, the polling firm, but he is the official pollster for the No Bullshit News Hour. First poll out, poll of 800 people. Well, we're going to have that on today, but I'm like, we needed to do what we needed to do. Here's the deal. Gretchen Whitmer leads James Craig by 6 percentage points with a plus or minus of 3.5. So it's 9 or 3, and nobody knows James Craig yet.
Yeah, no platform or anything.
Black voters statewide, 32% for Craig, 64% for Whitmer. That's devastating.
Good. Yeah, that's amazing.
Devastating for Whitmer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's okay. White voters statewide, 47% Whitmer, 42% Craig. Independents, Craig leads 42-39. Male voters, Craig 48-44. Female voters, Whitmer 51, James Craig 37. I wonder what that one does if it pans out that the nursing home has.
Yeah,
Women don't like the old ones left in the wind. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Whitmer, this is interesting. Her favorability ratings are now at 48.
Ooh.
Remember they were 73 a year ago?
Yes.
I don't ever remember him being under 50.
Yep. So that's
It's
breaking news.
That is big though.
It's huge. Okay. On one issue voters, Craig leads her. Whitmer loses among voters who care about a key issue on economy and jobs. Whitmer 30, Craig 63%. Does Whitmer deserve to be reelected? 46% said yes, that's below 50%. 41% said no.
Wow. Those are tough numbers for her.
Ooh.
She's got a long grind ahead of her.
And he hasn't even came out and started on
his platform.
I'll tell you one thing though. I have a ton of people that have reached out to me. I mean, across the spectrum of race, social, economic background, and geographic location in this state that have said, if Craig runs, put me on his team. So there are a lot of people that are anxiously awaiting his formal announcement so they can figure out how to support him. And that is a fact.
Okay, look, now that is interesting, but let's wait a minute. I don't have the page, so I'm not bullshitting you, but I remember it in my head. Where's that fucking page? Okay, we'll fix it in post. No, it's not there. No, it's the poll.
Oh,
I do remember this.
No, we won't.
Listen, here's the X factor. In the Republican primary.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
John James beats Jim Craig right now.
That's a known entity.
Right.
John James.
Yeah.
Well, he lost twice before.
Yeah, but I'm telling you.
Great showing, though.
John James gets in. He's no sucker, this dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on the program.
Mm-hmm.
James Craig been on the program and has not been on the program. That's okay.
Amazing.
It's all going to flow through here, man. You know that, folks. And I'll explain why.
Yeah.
But that's the latest poll numbers. But we've conducted our own poll. Comedian Detroit Red with the first official No Bullshit News Hour Harris poll, not to be confused with the real Harris poll, but our Harris poll. Red takes it to the streets and takes a sampling of people with the last name Harris. Let's roll that tape.
Hey.
Hello, how you doing, Miss Harris?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? I'm comedian Detroit Red from NBN News, and I was here wondering if you mind participating in our Harris poll.
Sure, why not?
Okay, basically, can I see your ID first? I want to make sure we got to make sure you're legit for the people, legit Harris. We don't want nobody thinking we implementing Harrises. Okay, Ronnie Chanel Harris, another Harris in our Harris poll. So thank you for participating in our poll. Today we're going around and we're asking people about Detroit Police Chief James Craig. He just announced he's going to be retiring at the end of the month, and it's been speculated he might be running for governor. First of all, let me ask you, how do you feel about Chief Craig as the police chief in Detroit?
I think Chief Craig did a great job.
Okay, and did you know that he is a Republican?
No, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
You'd be surprised. I didn't either until he just announced it at his retirement. So in that, it's been rumored, it's going around, that he may run for governor against Gretchen as a Republican. What do you think of that?
Wow, well, I like what he's done with the city of Detroit. And it doesn't matter what your party is. I feel like if you're a good person and you're going to get in there and do a good job, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good thing.
So would it be fair to say that Chief Craig could get your vote even though you just found out he's a Republican?
I would definitely vote for Chief Craig, even though I know he's a Republican.
It's been rumored that he may run for governor against Governor Whitmer as a Republican. What you think about that?
He's a Republican?
You didn't know?
I didn't know that. I thought he was all the way Democratic.
Would you vote for him or Gretchen?
Well, Gretchen ain't been wearing them parties we gave her. You know what I'm saying? so hey, no, I'm just talking stuff. But hey, I don't know. I think I would just vote for whoever's the best candidate is. You know what I mean? That would be my take on it. I'm gonna vote for whoever is the best. But I like him. So he's the best in my eye right now.
Hey, how you doing today, sir? I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions.
Or what?
Hey, how you doing? We're doing something called the Harris poll. It's where we go around, we ask people with the last name Harris certain questions about things going on out in the outside world. Is Martini Harris, is that correct?
Yeah.
Mind if I check your ID so people know, if I see your ID and confirm you are Harris?
Yeah, you ain't the Census Bureau or nothing like that.
No. I'm a comedian Detroit Red with Charlie LeDuff, No BS Newshour. Would you vote for Chief Craig or would you vote for Whitmer?
I mean, well, that'll be something that I have to hold within myself. Hey, man, I'm tell you like this, man. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Give me some grease, I give you a piece.
Oh.
You understand?
We might have to submit that as a campaign slogan for one or the other. All right, deuces.
Well,
Red, you are the man. Oh my God. But it is so funny. People aren't just, you got that lady to show you her ID. Oh,
well, this is no bullshit news, man, but so what did we learn there, Red?
It's 100%.
Basically,
It's small sample size.
For the listeners, it was 3 African Americans, 2 are for Craig, and 1 is not saying or undecided.
Yeah. And the last one that was undecided, I do want to disclose, he is a libertarian. He said he's a libertarian, so
he's not affiliated to a party.
Yeah.
hey, but notice he said, you're not with the Census Bureau, are you?
Fuck. What is another guy we lost?
Red, what was the margin of error on that polling you did there?
0.
0 because
0.
So it's 100%. All right.
Okay, look, let's quickly do this and get out because it's 1:10 into the hour. Let's do this real quick. No, Karen, let me do this.
Okay.
Let's discuss the ramifications for Duggan for crime with Craig leaving. I'm told the command staff's looking for work. You don't have a sophisticate like Craig to calm down and divert from the problem with crime in the city, right? So I don't know who's going to take that job, but I do know this, folks. The listeners to this program know we never gave that guy a pass. Ran on his ass on his bullshit crime numbers and the bullshit going up. And what are we going to do about it? So we'll have him on, and he's got to answer that. And I know he will. Are you going to, Governor? Will you, Mr. James? Right here. The debate should be through here because all your opposition research on each other comes through here. Because we have not been afraid to tell you the truth. Now you got the truth, and it's become the issue for the future of the state.
Yes.
Thanks for that expert analysis. Karen.
Try my best.
Karen.
I just wanted to say, Charlie, after you dogged me for being in cell block D, I, turned my chair around. Nobody, you haven't said anything about my bookcase. I tried.
Why would I compliment you on professional standards? Well, you wore a suit to work.
Hey, but Charlie, I will say this. You always dog the chief on those numbers. And I always said that everything goes back and falls in the mayor's lap because the mayor is responsible for providing the resources and the direction and the approval of what is executed by the chief. That was the difference between the two of us.
Wait a minute. I neglected to ask you that. Listening to how you phrase that. Have you been offered a job in the last week?
No.
I know people.
I don't do jobs, Charlie.
Why is it every big swinging, Politico is like, I'm going to steal Karen. I go, she's not mine.
I'm just being honest, Charlie. Every time you say something about the chief, I say, Charlie, that's the mayor. It falls in the mayor's lap. I just want to clarify that.
I just want to let everybody know one more time, if it's not become obvious,
right,
what Karen is, what she means to this program, the depth and the intellect and the balancing force of this, you can hear it. That is a professional and a great woman.
Yes.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I throw a comment on what you said about it?
No, we got to go.
I swear, I hate this shit. I'll just send my video.
All right,
next
go
week.
on.
Well, I really believe that once Chief Craig comes out of his position he's serving now, we're going to find out a whole lot about underfunding of the police department and what resources he had to work with.
So now you mean he's free to talk?
Yes.
And listen, to all the police doing the job right and doing it well, a lot of respect. For those people that feel they're not being respected, we're listening. Having said that, don't bully one another. Respect each other. And if you can, try to love you liars. You la 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 la. Tell me why. You la la la. Should've realized that you should've told the truth. Should've realized you know what I'll do. You're in suspension. You're a liar. Now I wanna know, and I know what I know.
I can bend over that far to tie my shoe.
That's my weak leg, too. Love that background, Karen. Yeah. Good show. Program.